fact. I mean, the likelihood of it happening is close to zero. They're very annoyed about two things. First of all, the Gaza wall, where much of Gaza was turned into a parking lot. And then, of course, Iran, which they were not consulted about, and basically tanked much of their economies. And so we're not going to reward Trump by saying, yes, we're going to recognize Israel. That's completely off the table. That might have been on the table before October 7th with Hamas's attack on Israel. Saudi Arabia was making some efforts to perhaps normalize relations with Israel, but those days are long gone.
Especially since Israel has used this opportunity to push further into Lebanon and take actions that the regional allies are frustrated with, right? And I think that's what I'm not clear about. When you look at this and you hear him talking about the Abraham Accords, has there been a fundamental shift in the regional politic that we're not paying attention to because we're talking about gas prices?
Yeah, I mean, what they're likely to do is to recognize that Iran basically has a stranglehold on their economies, at least for several years, because obviously they can start producing alternate routes for the oil over time, but that's not going to happen tomorrow. So for the moment, a cold peace with Iran is probably what they want. And recognizing Israel is off the table, not least because although these are absolute monarchies, their populations they do have to listen to, and their populations would be extremely unhappy with this.
The only thing I heard there is for years, because all weekend the White House is telling us this is going to resolve in months and gas prices will be down. Sarah, your face.
Well, just logistically, when you have ships that are coming from the Strait of Hormuz, it's a very long route. And so what happens when the strait is closed, you have a backlog of ships that could take weeks, if not months, to get here.
Yeah, never mind the infrastructure that's been damaged by Iran in their counterstrike.
Correct. So let's say, hypothetically, backlog of all the ships started from the strait many weeks ago that are now. And so if you were to feel it's like a switching an on switch, it's going to take a long time for things to ever feel back to normal.
One of the things that's interesting to me is Democrats don't actually have like some alternative vision of how this should be fixed because we're kind of just in it now. And again, we heard like Chris Van Hollen calling this a blunder. We heard Haim saying that the Iranians realized that they had their hand around the throat of the global economies. And I think it's interesting that is it good for them to be talking about U.S. defeat, given that Iran is listening? How is this helpful?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's good for them to, have a defeatist attitude. Of course, this is Trump's. Republicans in Congress, for the most part, have tried to help Trump justify it.
All powers vote, where all of a sudden you had like one of the, who was it who flipped? I just want to turn here to the Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, President, the Defense Secretary, and where President Trump will be laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. We're going to listen. Virginia today, where they are honoring the dead at the Tomb of the Fallen Soldier. We're also going to hear of the unknown soldier. We're also going to hear from the president himself. He's going to give some Memorial Day remarks shortly. I'm going to take you back there live as soon as he starts. In the meantime, I want to talk about something going on in Texas, because everything's bigger there, including the attack ads. And I'm going to show you the new Republican hit on James Talrico, attacking his masculinity and giving him a new nickname.
The UEFA Champions League final is on Sirius XM. Budapest is the stage for club soccer's most prestigious event, featuring French flair
and he scores for Paris Saint-Germain
versus English excellence.
the second brilliant Arsenal goal.
It's Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League final, Saturday at noon Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Hey, employers, quit being and consider offering an affordable medical plan. The Claim Doc Dual Option Approach. Wouldn't it be nice to offer a major network option for the executives who can afford higher premiums and deductibles while offering a significantly lower cost medical plan for most of your employees? Well, cheer up. Now you can. Ask your broker about the Claim Doc Dual Option Approach and stop beating us by offering a plan your employees can no longer afford. Visit claimdoc.com to learn more.
These statements are not evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you have a history of those dreadful calcium oxalate stones? Well, Kidney Cop is here to help. Shown in laboratory testing to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. Yes, 99%. Don't wait. Start taking Kidney Cop Calcium Oxalate Protector today. That's Kidney Cop, C-O-P, Kidney Cop. Order today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com. That's Amazon, Walmart, or KidneyCop.com.
Navigating life stages, Caring Transitions offers support for every step of the way. For seniors relocating or downsizing, we offer a compassionate, individualized approach that provides comprehensive solutions. Estate sales, our experts will list your items on our exclusive online platform, CT Bids. Preserving memories and keeping your family's best interests at heart. And for those tough cleanouts, we're here to help. Visit caringtransitions.com. Caring Transitions.
So it looks and acts just like natural grass. You can't beat Celebrity Green. Attention to detail, the exceptional customer service. Learn how to create a championship putting green in your own backyard. Call the pros at Celebrity Greens 1-888-507-960 or visit them online at celebritygreens.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Perillo with JoePerillo.com. I'd like to tell you about Perillo Collision. The Perillo Collision staff are trained and insured to repair Bentleys, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghinis, or any other high-end luxury vehicles with service accidents from all over the country. Maintain your luxury vehicle's warranty with our professional team. Visit JoePerillo.com. That's JoePerillo.com. That's JoePerillo. And click on Perillo Collision or call us at 312-BMW-1111.
Donate your car. Help support Tunnel of Towers. The process is quick and simple, and the proceeds from your generous car donation will go to support
Matthew,
good work that
this is so
T2T
cool.
is doing
Thank
for
you very
our
much.
community.
Happy Memorial Day to you. Go ahead and double tap.
And we will pick it up for you. So if you have an extra car and you want to help T2T to help our first responders and our dedicated veterans, simply call T2T at 844-BRAVES. Avoid the hassle of trying to sell that old car. Instead, donate it and help Tunnel of Towers. That number again to donate your car and support Tunnel of Towers is 844-BRAVES. That's 844-BRAVES. Or simply donate your car online at today'sveterans.org. Your car donation really does make a difference. So call Tunnel the Towers today at 844-BRAVES.
Let's be honest, you love your dog more than most humans, so why aren't they home alone all day binge sleeping like a teenager? Send them to Dogtopia, the world's largest daycare. Dogtopia dogs get serious exercise, averaging 8 miles a day. That's 70,000 steps. The big sled round at home staring at squirrels through the window. They make the friends and give them sleep overnight. You can watch them on our live webcams like the helicopter.
Oh, you want to tell a story about somebody you know back in the day?
Or explore franchising from Dogtopia, because your dog deserves a social life too.
So the president's pick for Texas Senate is scandal-plagued state attorney tomorrow's runoff. The Trump endorsement may be all he needs to defeat the incumbent Senator John Cornyn. And now the state's party chair is trying to turn down the temperature in what has been an acrimonious primary. He called on both candidates to finish the campaign on a positive note, including pulling all negative advertising. And Paxton seems to be on board. Team Cornyn, not so much. This was his pitch to Trump supporters just yesterday.
Ken Paxton, as you know, is a flawed candidate. He's got scandal that follows him everywhere. If James Tallarico, who raised $27 million in the first quarter of this year alone, if he gets a chance to litigate all of these issues in the general election when there's just not Republicans voting, I think that the seat's very much at risk.
Okay, so I wanted to bring it to the group because Cornyn, obviously longtime hand in the Senate. We were all talking about he's pretty much an institutionalist. Ken Paxton is a warrior. He is the Attorney General who goes after liberal policies and really won Trump over. Adam, can I start with you? What does Trump's sort of leaning in, all in on Paxton say about him as a candidate when people often complain about candidate quality?
Well, I mean, this one is all about loyalty, right? And loyalty to Trump. Ken Paxton had really put a lot of effort in over the last couple months.
We're not afraid of Tallarico. We're not afraid of any Democratic momentum there.
I think for Trump, he's not afraid of, he doesn't think that, Democrats have much of a chance in the midterms. The people around him, I think, would beg to differ. When it comes to this choice of Cornyn or Paxton,
Democrats.
Candidate quality or how they play in the state. It's a matter of who's with me, who does my base like, and who, if they get into the Senate, is going to end up supporting me and voting the way that I want. And he went with Ken Paxton, who has really done a lot of work in the last couple months to align himself.
What's up to say with this Trump, right?
Okay, and then also you have people like the Lone Star Liberty PAC, just to give an example of how they are for a while playing Tallarico's history. To your point about kind of what works on the ground there, this is an ad that they just ran on Thursday.
The Democrats have a weird candidate.
Shuts out to James Miller. Happy Memorial to you as well. Go ahead and double tap.
It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption.
Low T Tallarico, 2 weeks in Texas.
Low T, the insult of all insults, second only to, do you eat meat? Which Tallarico actually couldn't do anything about the low T, but here was his response to the meat eating thing. His spokesperson posted this on X, and yeah, that'll get him. That'll convince us. I don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that ad could be effective because they are clips of Tallarico saying things that are considered super woke. I'm sure that, well, I'm not sure, but perhaps these are things that in hindsight, but they are old comments, but in hindsight that even he would say, in a bubble don't sound great. The question will be for voters, what is the climate, I think, in November?
Even in a Texas?
Even in a Texas. If gas prices are super high and the economy is top of mind, maybe voters will be willing to vote for someone they think is a little bit more woke. If they think it's going to get some change in Washington, again, it'll be a big get for Democrats.
They'll lose their minds if they win.
Yes,
I mean, it's been a white whale, like somehow winning something Texas. I don't know if Tallarico's the guy to do that, given just the popularity there. But to your point about the economy, they're thinking about it. This is House Speaker Mike Johnson, who's speaking on Sunday, saying, look, at the end of the day, it's the economy, stupid, just like we always say. Here he is.
We put in all the conditions in the economy to let it take off like a rocket, and we were doing that at the beginning of the first quarter, and then the Iran skirmish began. So when this settles out, gas prices come back down to earth, that means your grocery prices come down again because of transport costs and all the rest. It's going to be a big factor. The kitchen table issues are going to decide the midterm.
Yeah, well, he's basically saying that these things will happen and that's going to work in our favor, but that's such willful thinking given what we just discussed a few minutes ago. Even if the street were to be magically reopened in coming days, there's going to be a lag time. It's going to impact the midterms, and people aren't going to just magically forget about the fact that they were paying almost $5 $2 a gallon on average across all 50 states for gas throughout their summer. So I think that that's very, very hopeful thinking from the House Speaker. In terms of what's happening in Texas, how bizarre. Do you have the situation where John Cornyn is considered sort of a shoo-in to retain a seat in a competitive midterm, and to come out and endorse somebody because they are more politically loyal to you? You know, it's not like John Cornyn was coming out here saying impeach Trump.
Right.
He's voted with Donald Trump 99.9% of the time. The issue that I think Trump has taken with him is that he was late to endorse Trump in 2024.
And Adam, you've been doing some reporting where you find that the senators in general, now that they're past primaries, are suddenly having the courage to say on background, we're not happy. We're not happy with the way he's leaning on some of us, where we feel like we're at odds with the White House.
Yeah, I mean, what makes this different from, I guess, the complaining that we've heard now for going on a decade at various points of Trump's presidencies, is they feel like he's not, they want to help him, and he's not helping them retain these seats. He's doing things that are counterproductive, both for candidate quality like John Cornyn, and also just policy-wise, focusing on things like the ballroom and not on grocery prices or gas prices or the things that people are actually making a decision on come November. And that's where you're getting the frustration, is their jobs are on the line, and they're asking the president, help us help you, and he's refusing to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't think he needs them. I mean, especially when you look at those primaries where he was able to put his finger on the scale, and we're gone now.
Trump, I remember when he got burned in his first administration, he kind of made this impact on him that he doesn't need to go through Congress. That's why and consolidating executive power. So for him, congressional politics is just a game of loyalty. It's not something that he views as a tool to help him pass his agenda.
Which makes me wonder why Republicans in Congress, who we know have always had their concerns and hesitations about Trump, but they've kind of chosen loyalty over staying true to their politics and their true thoughts. Why did it take them this long to realize that Trump was always going to choose himself, perhaps at their own detriment? And they could have perhaps worked, after January 6th or at other junctures to say, hey, we're going to take some power back, and they just haven't.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. I think we're going to end up coming back to that. I want to turn to this next. Right now, we're waiting for the president, who's set to make remarks at Arlington National Cemetery. We're going to take you there as soon as that speech begins.
Have you been thinking about what to do with the jewelry, diamonds, and watches you don't wear anymore? Maybe it's time to turn your old Rolex or Cartier bracelet into money you can use right now. At Worthy, we make selling your unwanted jewelry, diamonds, and watches easy and rewarding with our secure online auction. When you sell with Worthy, your items are fully insured, professionally graded, and auctioned to a network of over 1,000 professional buyers. You're in complete control, and once your item sells, you'll be paid fast. If it doesn't sell, we return it to you free of charge. With thousands of 5-star reviews and features in publications like the New York Times and Forbes, we've already helped over 80,000 clients get the most for their jewelry. At Worthy, we succeed when you do because we share the same goal, to maximize your earnings. For a limited time, SiriusXM listeners can get an extra $100 when your item sells for over $1,500 when you sign up at worthy.com/offer. Again, that's worthy.com/OFFER. Worthy.com/offer.
Hennigan and Walsh was made for people like you. People who understand the value of experienced, highly skilled professionals. That's why you have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennigan and Walsh, and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Hennigan Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Hennigan Walsh, member FINRA SIPC.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at AbacusPays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at AbacusPays.com.
Is the person who manages your Google ads the best?
It's gonna be a story.
Here's who Google thinks is the best. Google thinks it's Search Kings.
Of more than 10,000 Google agencies in the United States and Canada eligible for the honor, it is one company, SearchGives, that is the winner of the Google Ads Impact Award, given to the Google partner with the most impactful Google advertising results. You want to stand up where your customers are online?
Reinstate the last deal they did with Obama, right?
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months and My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those qualified.
Small business funding approved and funded same day at a bank, impossible. At Cardiff, it's the norm. My name's William Stern. In 2004, I built Cardiff to make it faster and easier to access business funding. We believe that if you have the revenue, you should have the capital. That's why we've made it possible to get your business approved and funded as fast as today. Since 2004, Cardiff has funded over $12 billion for American small businesses, helping owners grow without the red tape. Our online application takes less than 5 minutes with absolutely zero impact on your personal credit. If you've been in business for at least a year and are doing $20,000 in monthly revenue, you could qualify for up to $500,000 in sample funding. Don't let the big banks slow you down. Go to cardiff.co/SXM. That's cardiff.co/SXM. Real growth, fast funding. Cardiff.
And so,
Reynolds here from Midmont.
they talked about the $200 million or whatever that Obama gave to Iran. What Iran's conditions now is they want their $26 billion that's frozen because of sanctions or whatever the case may be. So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe when October 7th happened, Moss was an extension of Iran. Ended up, Biden ended up freezing all their shit. So now you got $26 billion here. Iran says, give us our $26 billion back. And we'll agree to some of it. They don't want to give up all their original. They don't want to be monitored. They don't want any of that shit. Not to mention, now they have a stronghold on the Strait of Hormuz. So what you're going to do, you say, okay, I'll give you your $26 billion, but you can't charge anybody when they come through the strait. They're looking at damn near $365 billion to charge folks coming in and out of the strait every year. Look, you and your $26 billion.
I'm not going to expose how broke I am right now, so I'm not going to do the interview with you. But he did tell me off camera there was sticker shock when he went to fill up his gas tank. Look at the prices here, not too bad. You see the $3.97. It's sort of dropped since we've been here, so that's good news for some people. That premium number, oh my goodness, that is a large number. But back and forth, this is one of the things that you have to do. Look, if you get on a plane, you've already got your fixed prices. When you're driving an SUV, you got your family with you, you have no choice but to pay whatever the gas says. Yes, you can use Gas Buddy and try to do the lowest prices, but sometimes you just get sticker shock. We look right here, get the 10 gallons right now. That's at $40, so you understand that price is some of that money back. Price for people who are traveling. Right. The average family of 4 who's traveling can expect to spend $200 to $400 a day as they travel. One of the things that we noticed is, as we've been talking to people, they've been telling us they wanted to travel regardless. This is summer season. People are excited to get out of school. Graduations are happening, and they're headed out. But this is all about an economy. So not only are they stopping and driving and doing all the things they do, you have to stop and get something to drink or eat and try to avoid the rain that started falling during this live shot. It's a part of live television. But take a listen to this driver who said they're doing the best they can and avoiding some states at the same time.
All right.
You said you've been traveling for the holiday weekend. What's this been like? Has it been super expensive? Have you been surprised about gas prices?
It's been decent in Georgia, Tennessee, and Missouri, but Illinois has been oof. Like it's like $4.50, $4.99 some places. I think we saw in O'Fallon, Illinois, $4.99 at BP down there. But so we pretty much just like avoided filling up our tanks in Illinois.
Look, one of the best things about doing a story like this is you really get to feel the economy and how it's impacting people, especially on a day-to-day basis. What's going on, guys? So we've been coming in and out of this store all day long. The energy here is high, but just think about it. Certain cities are really being impacted by this. Orlando, Vegas, even New York is seeing a lot of people fly into the city. You also have Miami that's on top of the list where people are traveling. So not only are people getting impacted by the overall prices, just trying to get from point A to point B, they also are getting the sticker shock when it comes to inflation. I even talked to one business owner who runs a lawn cutting business here. He's like, the gas prices are affecting my bottom line. I'm probably going to have to raise my prices. So you understand this impact is far-reaching.
That's right, thank you so much. And when we come back, I want to turn to this, the Pope. He's released a letter to the world about the risks of AI, and they have a message for President Trump.
Do you have coins, jewelry, precious metals, or high-end collectibles and are looking to sell for top dollar? Silver Tangible Investments has become legendary by beating his competitors' offers by as much as 500%.
I had a diamond ring that's been an heirloom in my family for many years, so I went to a local jewelry store and they offered me $600. I just wasn't comfortable. I took it down to Tangible Investments and they offered me over $6,000. That store is absolutely awesome.
Stories like these are why Tangible Investments has become America's top dealer. Why you'll see Syl featured on CNBC, the History and Discovery Channel, and quoted in the Wall Street Journal. Right now, gold, jewelry, and collectibles prices are at record highs. Shop the competition and call him last. You'll be amazed at the difference, guaranteed. Call now for an absolutely free, no obligation appraisal. Call 800-885-1400. That's 800-885-1400. 800-885-1400. Before you sell, call Syl. Tangible Investments.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health. Not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next. At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life. Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine. Not algorithms, not generic reports, but real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals. Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics, but what truly matters is what comes next. We interpret the results, connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led personalized plan you can act on with confidence. Information alone doesn't change outcomes. At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test.
Everybody drives
Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
What if you found out that you were giving out more than 20 yards off the tee? How about knowing you could hit approach shots 18 feet closer to your target? SST Pure can put these gains in your bag now. We're the global leader in golf shaft alignment technology. Golf shafts aren't perfectly round or straight, which creates losses in distance and wider dispersion throughout the bag. SST Pure has been on the PGA Tour for over 2 decades. Visit SSTPure.com for details and to find the licensed fitter nearest you. Put more distance and better accuracy in your bag today with SST Pure.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
When emergencies happen, cell service is often the first thing to fail. Towers overload, signals drop, and suddenly you can't reach the people who matter most. That's not just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Rapid radios are built for moments like that. These rugged, easy-to-use radios connect over a nationwide LTE network, helping you stay connected virtually anywhere. with no contracts, no monthly fees, and no complicated setup. Whether you're protecting your family at home, traveling off the grid, managing a job site, or preparing for severe weather, Rapid Radios give you reliable communication when traditional networks fall short. Right now, you can save up to 60%, and every radio includes a full year of service. Be prepared before you need it. Go to rapidradios.com. That's rapidradios.com.
Straight from the Vatican, a call to regulate artificial intelligence. So Pope Leo used his first major letter to the world to push for guardrails on the new technology, saying, quote, "We cannot consider AI to be morally neutral." Now, the document outlines his fears about mass job displacement, AI weapons of war, and profits only going to the top, while the rest of the world suffers.
Let's not fear artificial intelligence, but constantly keep the question of the human in play. We cannot be careless with our most powerful technical instruments. Only together, those who design systems and those affected by them, richer countries and poorer ones, institutions and individuals, power centers and peripheries, will we be able to build a future not for a privileged few, but for the entire human family.
With me now is Paulo Carrazza. He's a professor at Notre Dame Law School where he teaches on this topic. He's also a member of the Pontifical Academy of the Social Sciences in the Vatican, which is a great sign that the Vatican has been thinking about this for some time. So Paulo, I want to ask you about this document, specifically how much it spends on war, how much it spends on how AI tools can be used in battle. He writes, sometimes there is talk of artificial moral agents as if machines were able to distinguish between right and wrong with greater consistency than a human being, yet moral judgment cannot be reduced to calculation. Therefore, it is not permissible to entrust lethal or otherwise irreversible decisions to artificial systems. Can you talk about this in the context of the U.S.'s back and forth with, say, Anthropic and the Defense Department?
The human element is not in there anyway.
Sure. Obviously, the Pope in the document draws some clear red lines, like you cited. No automated lethal killing. He also expresses a great deal of concern about the way in which artificial intelligence accelerates the processes of war and decisions, which can be great from an efficiency point of view, but can lead to massive destruction and more indiscriminate targeting. And so I'm sure that the increasing prevalence of wars around the world over the last few years have been a provocation for people to explore these things. In the context of AI, what he's really concerned about is what he calls a culture of power. What he's calling for is attention to the dignity of every human person. He's saying if we don't worry about the potential dehumanization of individuals through the uses of these technologies, then what we're going to end up with is a moral framework where the only thing that matters is power. And that's when he points to the problem of war. He says the increasing use of warfare as a tool without ethical constraints is a sign of this culture of power taking hold in our society.
Can I nerd out on the symbolism? Because I understand, obviously, this is Pope Leo XIV, but looking at the original Leo, he also presided over a period of massive technological advance.
Absolutely. Leo XIV, the current one, deliberately chose that name, hearkening back to his predecessor from the 19th century, who wrote about the Industrial Revolution and was really concerned about the massive social displacement and economic upheaval that was taking place then, in particular what was happening to workers at that time, workers and their families. This current Pope chose that as a way of signaling that he thinks that we are in an analogous kind of massive social upheaval, one that again is going to affect, and already is affecting, workers tremendously, economics, but also it affects education, it affects our democratic politics, it affects the healthy development of children psychologically and so forth. So he is trying to place himself in that same tradition of responding to the fundamental challenges and needs of our times and adding the church's moral voice to the conversation.
I think you would have sort of responded to this moment no matter what, but I have to wonder if it's also in part because so much of Silicon Valley, so many of these tech executives talk in terms of AI as a kind of religion, right? That there's a sliver of that world that uses phrases like Godhead, that talk about the soul or the morality that can come with AI, sort of its logical conclusion. Is that something that the Pope is trying to respond to as well? People using that language?
There's a short but very, very intense passage in the new letter, the document that you're referring to, that spares no words of criticism exactly for an ideology of what you call transhumanism or post-humanism. The idea that technology can bring us beyond the value of human beings themselves. And in some ways, this is not what the Pope says, but as you say, almost its own religion, creating its own God. And he makes it very clear that that is, in fact, a deeply dehumanizing way of understanding the role of technology. We have to use technology to serve human beings, not the other way around, right? Otherwise, it will just become slaves.
Okay, Paula Garza, thank you so much. Hope to hear from you again. I know the Pope is keeping a close eye on all of this. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'll bring you back to this. A live look at Arlington National Cemetery. There you can see Vice President J.D. Vance making his remarks. The President is set to mark this Memorial Day. He's already been to the wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We're going to bring
Donald Trump, you in the queue.
Live as Trump comes to the podium.
Donald Trump's in the queue. Algorithm.
Navigating life stages, Caring Transitions offers support for every step of the way. For seniors relocating or downsizing, we offer a compassionate, individualized approach that provides comprehensive solutions. Estate sales, our experts will list your items on our exclusive online platform, CT Bids, preserving memories and keeping your family's best interests at heart. And for those tough cleanouts, we're here to help. Visit caringtransitions.com. Caring Transitions, embracing new beginnings with confidence.
Hi, this is professional golfer Mark O'Mara. When it came to building my personal putting green, I called Celebrity Greens, the leader in customized synthetic golf greens. Celebrity Greens designed an amazing backyard green for me and a synthetic lawn area for my dogs that looks and acts just like natural grass. You can't beat Celebrity Greens' attention to detail and exceptional customer service. Learn how to create a championship putting green in your own backyard. Call the pros at Celebrity Greens, 1-888-507-7960, or visit them online at celebritygreens.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars. Blades. Nampons are the doctor recommended better option that over 3 million people have already discovered. So what's a Nampon? Nampons fit inside your nose, expand for gentle pressure, and even have a clotting agent clinically proven to stop the bleeding fast. And now Nampons are available at Walmart. So ditch the tissue and be prepared for your next nosebleed. Pull into Walmart right now and get Nampons in the first aid aisle.
Spring means one thing in sports. It's go time. New season, clean slate. Depth charts reset. No more excuses. Out with last year's bad habits, in with higher standards. You should treat your coffee in the same way. Black Rifle Coffee didn't suddenly become patriotic this year. They were founded on it, both by veterans who understand preparation, discipline, and showing up early when it counts. If you want coffee that matches that mindset, start with their Just Black roast. Whole bean if you dial in your grind. Grounded if you keep it simple and consistent. Or grab K-Cup pods when you need speed and efficiency. No gimmicks, no sugar hiding weak flavor. Just bold American roasted coffee that does what it's supposed to do. Fuel performance. Whether you're heading to the gym, setting up the tailgate, or grinding through film before sunrise, strong mornings matter. You can grab Just Black at Walmart or your local grocery store, right alongside the rest of your game day essentials, or stock up directly at blackriflecoffee.com. Black Rifle Coffee. Veteran founded, American roasted. This is America's coffee.
Not a backyard project or long detail. For over 50 years, VP Racing Fuels has dominated racetracks around the world. Did you know your trimmer, chainsaw, or blower is a little air-cooled race engine, making VP Racing Fuels the logical choice to fuel it? Our specially formulated fuels promote smooth first starts and longer performing engine life. Available now at all your local retailers. Don't let low-quality fuels stall your weekend. When it matters most, choose VP Racing Small Engine Fuels. Do you own a successful business in facility services and ever thought about possibly selling it? The Facility Services Group at Carnegie Point has extensive experience in all of the following fields, including fire and life safety, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, access control, security, landscaping, property restoration, cleaning, waste management, pest control, and property management. If your business has annual revenues of at least $5 million, you can potentially sell for 8 to 15 times your annual net earnings. Our experts will help guide you through the process of selling your business smoothly, confidentially, and for the best possible price. Call Carnegie Point now to get your free company financial analysis along with our expert opinion on what your business is potentially worth at 800-898-4104. That's 800-898-4104. Or visit CarnegiePoint.com.
Okay, this is a live look at President Trump speaking at Arlington National Cemetery.
Around the world, we unite in solemn observance with reverent hearts. We honor those who fell so that our republic might stand, those who died so that our nation could live, those who gave up their sacred light on earth so that the sublime light of American freedom would shine forever and ever. This Memorial Day, we salute them, we exalt them, and we thank them for all that we have, for all that they gave. They gave everything. God bless our fallen heroes. We're joined today by some of those they left behind, our incredible Gold Star families, incredible people. To every person here and across America who holds tight to the memory of a warrior taken from them, we will never ever forget the ones you loved. Gold Star family members, please stand. Receive our thanks, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. My honor. Less than 6 weeks from now, our nation will reach a historic milestone, 250 years of majestic American independence, something. But it's only right that first we remember the immense sacrifice that has been brought to us and this momentous anniversary year. That's what it is. It's a momentous year. Before we hail the founding, we honor the fallen. Before we celebrate the triumph, we pay the tribute. Before we crown the victory, we count the cost. Today we are reminded that there could be no 4th of July without America's armed forces, and there could be no Independence Day without Memorial Day. We owe our liberty, our self-government, the glories of our history, and our very nation itself to the generations who paid for it with everything they had, the ultimate sacrifice. The first Americans to give their lives at battle fell on April 1775 when 8 patriots were cut down by redcoats. Those guns, they were shot on Lexington Green. They had answered the call to muster against a force 5 times their strength. They said at the time the greatest in the world in defense of their cherished rights and their cherished liberty. As the British approached the Massachusetts, militiamen summoned destiny itself, saying, if they mean to have a war, let it begin right here. Caleb Harrington was 23 years old when he accompanied his father to the Green that day. Torn apart from each other in the chaos of combat, that American son died trying to fight his way back to his father. He wanted to get back to Dad. Calip's cousin Jonathan was struck down at age 31, shot within the sight of his home, and his young wife and child who awaited his return. Jonathan crawled, bleeding, back to them to die on his own doorstep for a final, terrible but beautiful farewell. His widow and orphan were perhaps the very first Gold Star family in a long unbroken chain that reaches up through the ages to us right here today. When our founding fathers put the ideas of the Declaration of Independence to paper in Philadelphia, they signed and sealed an oath that had already been written in blood by patriots at Lexington, Concord, and Bunker Hill. Their sacrifice birthed the most incredible and exceptional nation in all of history. And our nation is doing better today than it's ever done before. That's right. The cause of independence exploded from that part of the American soul that will not be tamed, that will never be conquered, that will rather face death than to live as slaves to the arbitrary will of another. This is the unyielding spirit that has always set Americans apart and driven generations of American warriors into battle, their chests beating with the cry that says, "We will govern ourselves. We will control our destiny. We will bow to no one but the righteous God who made us and who gave us our rights and blessed this land of free and the bravest of the brave." 10 days into the legendary Battle of the Bulge in World War II, Lieutenant Colonel Keith Ware led 11 men in a tank against entrenched German positions, the toughest positions anywhere in the world. Half the patrol, including Ware himself, were soon wounded, yet still he killed 5 enemy riflemen, demolished 3 German machine gun nests, forced a 4th to surrender, and captured the hill. For his heroism, he received the Congressional Medal of Honor. Unlike most drafted soldiers, Ware stayed in the Army and rose to the rank of general, a highly respected general. In Vietnam, as commander of the 1st Infantry, the Big Red One, they called him. That's very nice. He led from the front, and in 1868, that's where he was shot down, surveying enemy positions for the famous assault on Hill 222. Known as the Fighting General, he's buried here in Arlington, and with us is his grandson and namesake, Staff Sergeant Keith Ware, an Air Force veteran. Keith, where are you, Keith? Where are you, Keith? Hi, Keith. Thank you very much, Keith. Great honor. We're also honored to be joined by a man who, like General Ware, is a veteran of the largest battle in U.S. Army history, the Battle of the Bulge. At 15, Harry Miller lied about his age to enlist and was soon fighting to stop the SS Panzer divisions as part of the famed 740th Tank Battalion, the Daredevils they were called, of which he is among the last surviving members at 97 years old. Within 6 months after the battle, Harry's unit lost 42 comrades. He's remembering them today. Sergeant Miller, it is a true honor to have you with us. Sergeant Miller. Thank you. Many of the greatest men of that generation followed along an epic path from World War II to Korea to Vietnam. Major Charles Kelly was the father of aggressive dust-off helicopter flying that made Army medical evacuation pilots among the most fearless. In Vietnam, the greatest helicopter pilots, they say, that ever lived. Like Sergeant Miller, Charles enlisted to serve in World War II at age 15. He was wounded at the Battle of Aachen and went on to fight in Korea. But flying helicopter ambulances in Vietnam is what etched his name into history. Since I have been here, he wrote in 1964, we have evacuated 1,800 casualties, and in the last 3 months, we've flown 242 hours at night. No other unit can match this, and they flew the most dangerous routes probably in the history of warfare. 2 weeks later, under brutal enemy fire, Kelly refused to withdraw until he had loaded the wounded aboard. As he prepared for takeoff, an enemy bullet pierced his heart. Yet Charles Kelly's heroic life-saving style lived on. His comrades and command passed on to Captain Patrick Henry Brady, and 4 years later, Brady piloted 3 damaged helicopters in turn to evacuate an incredible 51 wounded warriors under intense fire like no one has seen up until that point. For this he received also the Congressional Medal of Honor. General Brady is with us at 89 years old as we salute his fallen mentor, Charles Kelly. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Sergeant First Class Matthew McClintock enlisted in the Army in 2006 and became a very special Green Beret. In 2016, he found himself in an hours-long firefight with Afghan terrorists. When a comrade was severely wounded, Matthew wanted to find a landing zone for a medevac rescue. Very dangerous, horrible way to be flying. He was reminded on the dangers, but Matthew replied, we have to save him. We have to do it. Running out in the face of mortars and rocket-propelled grenades, he went to work, but was soon gravely wounded. He was hit from every possible angle. Matthew fell that day, but the soldier he gave his life to save survived and thrived, and Matthew was awarded the Silver Star. We're deeply honored to be joined by Matthew's mother, Joyce, his widow, Allie, and his precious young son, Declan. Here to remember Matthew at his grave in Section 60, 10 years later. So Joyce and Allie and Declan, we salute Sergeant Matthew McClintock as an American hero, please. Thank you. These are tremendous people. These are brave, brave people. In 2 wars recently, we've lost a total of 13 service members. In Venezuela, which was a complete and total victory, where we're working very closely with the Venezuela government right now. We took that over in 1 day. We lost no one. In Operation Epic Fury, we lost 13 wonderful souls, wonderful special people. These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon. I'm sure you know that. One of them was Major Ariana Savino Lindsay, and we're joined by her great family, Omira, Darren, Zevin, and Wick. Stand up, please. Please. There he is. There he is. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Vic. Thank you very much. To all of you, Ariana's selfless gift will not be in vain. Our debt to you is everlasting, and it's always going to end in victory. We're having victories all over the place, more than we've had in many, many decades. Scripture tells us precious is the sight of the Lord, is the death of his faithful servants. 400,000 souls rest on these grounds, these beautiful grounds, in the sacred soil which is first consecrated in the hours of America's greatest division to be eternal symbol of national unity. It cannot be by chance alone that the very service member led to rest here in this place of supreme sacrifice was a Union soldier by the name of Private Chris Mann. Private William Henry Chrisman of Pennsylvania, who died as 19 years old. He was a great young man, they say. Beside him are more than 18,000 other young men named William, over 20,000 named John, over 13,000 named James, joined over time by Isaac, Elijah, Earls, Hanks, Helens, Juans, Margarets, Marius, and Donalds. Not too many. And others whose names tell the true story of American greatness, and greatness it is. Here beneath arching trees and white stones so beautiful, these many are made one again, united forever as brothers and sisters in arms and children of our fathers in heaven. From coast to coast, from proud cities to humble towns, and from heartland fields. Hear no answer, but they answered, and they answered very, very loudly. Taikawai and Busan, the courage of the American warrior had forged the path through every city, and sparked a trail to every corner on the earth. In the history of the war crisis, we honor the dead. That's why from Brittany to Sicily, from Panama City to Saipan, from now with memorials to Americans to their courage, carved marble and made in the hearts of all of mankind. We will never forget you. From 1776 to 2026, America has always stood as a great and moral cause. Our warriors are no mere mercenaries. They are guardian angels who stride across the battlefields of history and stand watch over the highest and most beautiful plains the human spirit has ever seen, holding the line between liberty and tyranny, between civilization and barbarism, between good and evil. Wherever the American soldier walks, wherever he fights, wherever he fails, and wherever he falls, he does it for the destiny of a nation like no other. There's never been anybody like you. And for the fate of freedom on this earth, we salute you like nobody has ever been saluted before. By their deaths, those who have gone before us in battle have redeemed the promise of our founding for each future generation. They've not just made the ultimate sacrifice, they've offered the ultimate proof that we Americans do indeed love liberty. We do cherish the self-government given to us by our forefathers. We do believe with all our souls in the mission that God has given to America, and we do intend with all our strength and heart to hold high the torch our heroes handed to us, and we will never, ever let it fall. Thank you very much. You are special, special people. We love you all. God bless the families of the fallen. God bless the men and women who serve. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Wrapping up his remarks at Arlington National Cemetery on this Memorial Day, and we are joined by Tara Kopp, who is a Pentagon correspondent with the Washington Post. Just listening to him go back sort of to the founding of America, but then being a nation at war at this very moment, Memorial Day has obviously
is that we left in just enough time to avoid it, because these people, as far as they are right now, probably left at like 8:30. And so, because we're about 60 miles out, so that's about an hour. So, and it's like 10:15 now, so they probably left between 8:30. I'm gonna say they did leave at 8:30. They were stuck in traffic because they're not going very fast. And I'm hoping, because we left at 8:30 from Barstow, we'll find out when we hit this corner how much of a customer it is. I'm thinking we just missed it. This shit's back all the way up.
Back that way, you didn't see no accident.
I didn't. Nothing happens when you noticeable. It starts look. 29-minute day, 21 minutes. That's if I get off and go back the other way. 2 hours and 43 minutes for 108 miles.
Getting out of Vegas. Look at all those cars trying to get out of Vegas. Go to California. That old parking lot over there. Yeah, buddy.
Literal.
Slow it down.
Oh, okay. And you grabbed all of our open stuff from the top.
Oh, we got left in the fridge stuff. I'm gonna get back there when I do my cigarette. Gotta put some games.
Carlos, for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
We're following breaking news concerning an overheated chemical tank that forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate in Orange County, California. Officials there say that the threat of a potentially catastrophic explosion is fortunately over.
The interim fire chief has confirmed to CNN that an overnight operation to cool the temperature inside of the tank is working and that a crack on the tank's exterior has brought down the pressure inside the tank, but he says the incident is still not under control.
We're happy to report the threat of a levee has been eliminated. That's something we went after last night.
Yeah,
so
we got out of there for that
report now is the threat of a levee has been eliminated. There's still a threat of an explosion or the incident's not under control yet, but we really went after the threat of a levee and we mitigated that, and we're happy to report that.
All right, a levee is boiling, liquid, expanding, vapor explosion.
Oh, that's not
Veronica
good.
Miracle, who's there in Orange County,
doesn't
it's a
sound good.
very serious thing. Explain to us what the chief means when he's saying that
Welcome to the Nevada Crop Game.
even as there
Got the
does
state
still
line right here.
be some risk factors here.
Yes, certainly the threat is not over. As you talked about, a levee, if a levee would have happened,
Used to be a lot busy over here years ago.
Loud fireball of an explosion, it would have created
Buffalo Bills used to have roller coaster going.
in the vicinity, and it could have potentially sent 7,000 gallons of that toxic chemical MMA
Ghost
into the
town
air.
now.
So because the crack has been reducing the pressure inside,
State line, Nevada, California.
it's off the table is what they're telling
If
us.
you never
They
seen
also
it, now
said
you
that
saw it.
the temperature inside the tank has significantly gone down over the weekend. It had maxed out, the temperature gauge maxed out at about 100 degrees. It's now at 93. They want to see it at 85 degrees, so it is trending in the right direction. What they also said, though, is that the possibility of a smaller explosion, that's not off the table. That is still potentially there, and that's why they have not reduced the evacuation zone size, and they're not letting everybody back in yet. So an explosion is still potentially on the table, but what they think is happening is that the chemical is solidifying inside the tank. Now, how much has it solidified? That's what they're trying to figure out right now. And how much has the risk reduced? That's what they're also trying to figure out right now. For now, 50,000 people are still forced out of their homes. We understand about 4 evacuation sites, 4 evacuation centers and shelters. Those are full. People have been having a hard time finding hotels on this holiday weekend, so a lot of people wanting to go home. And it should come as no surprise. There's already been a lawsuit filed against the company GKN Aerospace, who has put out a statement apologizing, saying they are working with authorities to try and mitigate this crisis. Back to you, Boris, Brianna.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of critical questions still to be answered. Veronica Miracle live at the Command Post here in California for us. Thank you so much. Still to come, President Trump says the nuclear deal he's negotiating with Iran will be the exact opposite of the one made by former President Barack Obama. How that promise tracks with the framework we're told is currently being discussed.
That's going to be the opposite.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health. Not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next. At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life. Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine. Not algorithms, not generic reports, but real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals. Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics, but what truly matters is what comes next. We interpret the results, connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led personalized plan you can act on with confidence. Because information alone doesn't change outcomes. At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test. It begins there. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
When emergencies happen, cell service is often the first thing to fail.
towers overload, signals drop, and suddenly you can't reach the people who matter most. That's not just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Rapid radios are built for moments like that. These rugged, easy-to-use radios connect over a nationwide LTE network, helping you stay connected virtually anywhere, with no contracts, no monthly fees, and no complicated setup. Whether you're protecting your family at home, traveling off the grid, managing a job site, or preparing for severe weather, Rapid radios give you reliable communication when traditional networks fall short. Right now, you can save up to 60%, and every radio includes a full year of service. Be prepared before you need it. Go to rapidradios.com. That's rapidradios.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Vacation vouchers not available in Oregon.
It used to be that stuffing tissues up your nose was really the only way to stop your messy, frustrating nosebleeds. Nampons are the doctor-recommended better option that over 3 million people have already discovered. So what's a Nampon? Nampons fit inside your nose perfectly, expand for gentle pressure, and even have a clotting agent clinically proven to stop the bleeding fast. And now Nampons are available at Walmart. So ditch the tissue and be prepared for your next nosebleed. Pull into Walmart right now and get Nampons in the first aid aisle.
Spring means one thing in sports. It's go time. New season, clean slate. Depth charts reset. No more excuses. Out with last year's bad habits, in with higher standards. You should treat your coffee the same way. Black Rifle Coffee didn't suddenly become patriotic this year. They were founded on it, both by veterans who understand preparation, discipline, and showing up early when it counts. If you want coffee that matches that mindset, start with their Just Black roast. Whole bean if you dial in your grind. Grounded if you keep it simple and consistent. Or grab K-Cup pods when you need speed and efficiency. No gimmicks, no sugar hiding weak flavor. Just bold American roasted coffee that does what it's supposed to do. Fuel performance. Whether you're heading to the gym, setting up the tailgate, or grinding through film before sunrise, strong mornings matter. You can grab Just Black at Walmart or your local grocery store, right alongside the rest of your game day essentials, or stock up directly at blackriflecoffee.com. Black Rifle Coffee, veteran founded, American roasted. This is America's coffee.
What our ancestors accomplished transformed America in ways that they never could have imagined.
Discover the untold stories of American expansion in the CNN original series, This Land. Premieres June 7th on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
Today, President Trump says negotiations with Iran are, quote, proceeding nicely, and Iran's foreign ministry says a, quote, degree of understanding has been reached with the U.S. on many issues, but an agreement still is not imminent.
We have learned that the proposed framework deal includes reopening the Strait of Hormuz, although Iran says it plans to continue to charge ships to pass through the critical waterway. It doesn't describe those fees as tolls, claiming instead that they're for providing services like navigation and environmental protection. Other parts of the framework include gradually ending the American blockade of Iranian ports, commitments by Tehran to not pursue a nuclear weapon, and a 60-day period for negotiations to resolve remaining sticking points on Iran's nuclear program. We're joined now by retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton. And Cedric, it's that last part, these sticking points on the nuke stuff and the timeline of that, because Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he and Trump agree any final agreement with Iran must eliminate the nuclear danger, and that means dismantling Iran's nuclear enrichment sites and removing its enriched nuclear material from its territory. In light of that, how are you seeing this 60-day timeline?
Yeah, that's a very optimistic timeline, a very rigid timeline. You know, when you compare with the JCPOA, which took 18 months to negotiate, and then all of a sudden you have a 60-day timeline from this point forward, or at least when they get this memorandum of agreement signed to that point, is optimistic. The language between the two sides is better than it has been, I think, in the recent past. So that's a positive sign. But there are a lot of details that are going to have to be worked out here. What kind of inspection regime is there for the nuclear side of things? You know, how are they going to handle the highly enriched uranium? Because that was a major worry, was to get rid of the highly enriched uranium, whether it was by force or diplomatic means. And that's something that I think we don't really see right now. At least we don't have those details.
And you're hearing from some Iran hawks, including Republican senators, that are concerned explicitly about that. You had Senate Armed Services Chair Roger Wicker saying that cutting a deal instead of continuing the fight risks the perception of weakness. We also heard from Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz on this. Do you think restarting military action at this point would generate a better deal in the U.S.'s view?
It's unlikely, I think, Boris. And so this is really the conundrum when you have a situation where you've got Senator Wicker making those statements. And in some ways he's right, because you want to get the most advantageous position from a negotiating standpoint. You also, of course, want to make sure that your country doesn't show any weakness, especially on the negotiating table, and certainly militarily.
Oh no, the Camaro ain't went nowhere.
Forces are in the Middle East. They are at risk of being
I'll put the Camaro out for you.
And if that's the case,
Shouts out to
then
Mrs.
the weaknesses really begin to show, and that becomes a real problem. So you have, on the one side, you have a military readiness issue. On the U.S. side, you also have an economic issue for the Gulf states. If things are not solved, especially the Strait of Hormuz issue and the flow of tankers and cargo ships through that area, if that is not solved, those economies are going to tank, and that is going to be a significant problem. And I think that is one of the main pressure points on Trump right now.
The president is demanding that Middle Eastern countries sign the Abraham Accords if a deal with Iran is reached. What kind of hiccups could we see there?
Many hiccups, Brianna. And part of the problem is that these countries are basically not ready to sign the Abraham Accords or any kind of relationship with Israel, the outlier being the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Those countries established the Abraham Accord relations with Israel before all of this happened, but the problem is October 7th and what happened afterwards. October 7th itself would not have stopped it, but it was the Israeli response to it and the way in which they've dealt with this. And in fact, Saudi Arabia has basically said if there is no Palestinian state, we cannot support being part of the Abraham Accords. So that, I think, is going to be a major hang-up right now. And it's, in many ways wishful thinking, and it makes sense from a strategic standpoint to get Iran on our side eventually, which is part of what Trump is looking at. But we're not there yet, and certainly to get the Arab nations to agree to be part of the Abraham Accords and to recognize Israel at this particular point in time, that might be a bridge too far.
All right, countries to watch there. Colonel Cedric Clayton, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And next, a modern pope for modern times. Pope Leo comparing artificial intelligence to the Tower of Babel in his first major manifesto. His concerns right after this.
Tower of Babylon, I believe.
Got a backyard project or
Tower of Babylon, maybe?
For over 50 years, VP Racing Fuels has dominated racetracks around the world. Did you know your trimmer, chainsaw, or blower is a little air-cooled race engine, making VP Racing Fuels the logical choice to fuel it? Our specially formulated fuels promote smooth first starts and longer performing engine life. Available now at all your local retailers. Don't let low-quality fuels stall your weekend. When it matters most, choose VP Racing Small Engine Fuels.
How many times are you going to walk into that outdated bathroom and think, I really need a bathroom makeover? Stop putting it off and transform your bathroom and your life in as little as one day with a beautiful, affordable shower makeover from Jacuzzi Bath Remodel. Choose from custom designs tailored to your budget and style, including safety-focused features for beauty and peace of mind.
I've had a great experience from start to finish. The crew that came in, they were so professional. This looks like a marble, beautiful, new shower, and it was done all in one day.
Right now, we're waiving all installation costs, plus offering no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Call now to schedule your free design consultation and quote. Call 800-384-3114. That's 800-384-3114. 800-384-3114.
With purchase and installation, financing through third-party lenders, subject to credit approval. No interest and no payments if paid in full within 12 months. Charge from purchase date if not paid in full. Not all will qualify. Call dealer for details.
Accredited investors, tired of the stock market roller coaster? Want to hedge your bets and looking for a smart alternative to grow your wealth? Ascend Capital Partners offers a real estate fund with annual target returns of up to 18% with monthly distributions, an attractive alternative to annuities without high fees or commissions. The fund invests in luxury, residential real estate projects across the country, and its proprietary high-tech platform streamlines every project, shortening timelines and increasing profitability. With a $100 million plus real estate portfolio and significant tax advantages, this fund can be a smart way to hedge your bets while receiving reliable annual target returns up to 18%. To learn more, call Ascend Capital Partners now at 800-455-7033. That's 800-455-7033. Or visit investwithascend.com. Investors should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses carefully before investing. Target returns are not guaranteed, and past performance does not guarantee future results.
Hello, my friends. Pat Boone here. I'm 91 years young and feeling great. Elvis once opened for me, and I'm still recording and performing. People often ask me, how do you stay so young? Well, one great reason is something I've been taking for 30 years, called Vital Factors. NDR has updated the formula with NAD, which is a vital coenzyme that's crucial for energy production and DNA repair. I just drop a tablet of water for a tasty drink in the morning, and I'm ready to go. Feeling mentally sharp with youthful energy and all-day stamina. My friend, I urge you to check out VitalFactors.com. Vital Factors keeps me doing what I love, living life fully.
Go to VitalFactors.com and use the code RADIO. You'll get $15 off your order. Code RADIO.
So, we'll go to VitalFactors.com today.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Rising energy prices, fragile supply chains, even threats of food shortages. It's no surprise that millions of American families are starting to take preparedness seriously. That's why My Patriot Supply created Family Preparedness Starter Packs. 1 full week of food for everyone in your family. Plus water filtration, cooking tools, and backup power. All for as little as $100 per person. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and get prepared today. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
This is Sirius XM. Sirius XM Radio.
Pope Leo has issued a sweeping warning about artificial intelligence in the first major theological document of his tenure. The text calls for the disarming of AI by preventing it from dominating humanity. Regarding its use in warfare, the Pope says AI should be subject to the most rigorous ethical constraints.
So just blocking my mirror over there.
Decisions about technology must never be separated from conscience and responsibility. Let us not sleep as others do, admonished the Apostle Paul, but let us keep awake. Such vigilance is necessary today.
Let's bring in CNN Vatican analyst Katie McGrady. She hosts the Katie McGrady Show on Sirius XM's The Catholic Channel. Katie, great to see you as always. It's about AI, why he's putting an emphasis on disarming it.
Well, it's his favorite word. Disarm is something he's used from the moment we met him, and AI has clearly been on his mind. He referenced artificial intelligence in this new revolution just a couple of days after he was elected. In that very same seat we just saw him speaking from, he references his namesake's seminal document, Rerum Novarum, as addressing concerns at the turn of the century. And so now here we are, 2026, time to address the concerns of the moment. And to disarm AI isn't to get rid of it. It's not to say that we're never going to use it. It's not to say that it's caused endless amounts of evil. It's to say when it's weaponized and when it manipulates and when we don't recognize its own limits, we are potentially harmed. And so the Vatican is engaging in this very necessary conversation.
Well, what is his sort of prescription or recommendation to lawmakers, to policymakers on AI?
You know, the central part of the text, so chapter 3, he gets into some of the specifics, and it's very clear that he writes after having listened to the people who have built these platforms. And so he brings up the idea that automation, specifically that which allows us to be more efficient, isn't always what's best for us, because then there's not a human behind everything from deciding who gets a job or who gets admitted to a college, all the way to who gets droned, who gets bombed. And so he really wants to ensure that there are policies in place that maintain the human connection to big decisions especially. He also really cautions us about how, especially some of these learning language models and some of these AI generative type platforms, once they're coded and kind of set free, we don't even know how they work anymore. And in fact, Anthropic's co-founder mentioned this. And so he really cautions us, what are we actually crafting? And is it Babel, or will we build a civilization of love?
It's a huge question. I also wonder, cyclical about the church's just war theory. He makes the case that it's outdated. It's notable given that we were discussing the just war theory a few weeks ago when he was under criticism by members of the Trump administration over his comments regarding the war with Iran.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you might have missed that little throwaway line of, hey, just war theory might not hold these days, because can any war be just if it is being decided by code and not humans? If it's being crafted by this efficiency model and it's not deeply considered. I was talking to a priest friend of mine earlier. He said we have to consider this moment of the Holy Father and the Vatican talking about AI as if the Pope had picked up the phone during the Manhattan Project and said, hey, let's talk about what you're about to do. And I think it's really, really important that he's addressing democracy. He's addressing media. He's addressing social media, education, and war. Nothing is untouched by artificial intelligence. And here's the Pope recognizing the second this came out, it was kind of outdated because AI is constantly developing. But we can look at some eternal things and say, these are the things that need to address that which is ever changing. And just war theory is something he is taking up as we have to disarm our world. War is bad, no more war. The folks have been saying that for decades. I'm not surprised he said that. A lot of people are going to be wrestling with it, though.
Kenny McGrady, always appreciate the perspective and expertise.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Of course. Still to come, despite surging conflict for Memorial Day, we'll take you live to the
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/video. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Why settle for a 7 a.m. tea time when you want it 8? Or an iced coffee when you ask for hot? Or a corporate card that gives you pennies and rewards when you could be saving thousands? Ramp is the only corporate card built to help companies spend less, not more. That's not coincidence. That's design. And it works without slowing you down. With Ramp, you get real-time visibility into every transaction. Out-of-policy spend blocked before it clears. Duplicate SaaS tools to unused seats flagged before they waste your budget. Ramp automates the guardrails so you can stop chasing receipts and start driving strategy. Over 40,000 companies already run on Ramp, including CBRE and Shopify. They're not just logos, they're teams reclaiming time, cutting costs, and closing the books without overtime. Because with Ramp, the less you touch your expense system, the better it works. Right now, your business can get $250 off at ramp.com/SXM. That's ramp.com/SXM. Ramp, built for savings, not points.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. But here's what most homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you could easily access hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get that money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Listen, rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto. 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 855-2-PRONTO or visit loanpronto.com. 855-2-PRONTO. Loanpronto.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Is that joint pain so bad they're saying you need surgery? Are you sick of steroids? Or are you just tired of wincing every time you move? It's time to get lasting joint pain relief the natural way. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine, using powerful orthobiologics to repair joint tissue in your knees, hip, back, or shoulder. We use precision medicine to get right to the root of the pain. Best part? With QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no downtime, no surgery. And the patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Over 46,000 people like you who are back to living their best life again. QC Kinetics now has over 100 clinics nationwide specializing in pain from arthritis or injury. Are you tired of hurting but want desperately to avoid surgery? It's time to discover these cellular level treatments that are changing the game for joint pain sufferers all over America. Call now to learn more. See if there's a clinic near you. QC Kinetics, 844-809-PAIN. 844-809-PAIN. 844-809-PAIN.
Isn't life just better with a dog? They're our companions, our comfort, our family. They sense when we're sad and stay close. They greet us like we've been gone 20 minutes. Service dogs change lives. Therapy dogs, they heal hurts. Every dog makes our world brighter every day. Dogs give us everything they have. Don't you think they deserve the same? And you can't give your dog their best life while feeding them food that's... That's why Rough Greens puts it all back. You simply sprinkle it on their food. It's packed with probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals. All natural, made in the USA, and hundreds of thousands of dogs now have more energy, better mobility, healthier from the inside out, and your dog can be one of them. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com and use discount code BLUE. That's ruffgreens.com, discount code BLUE. Rough Greens, so good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Right now, millions of Americans are heading back home this Memorial Day and paying some of the highest fuel prices in years.
CNN's Pete Montine is live at Washington National Airport. People still flying despite these high prices, Pete.
Yeah, you know, it's not just car gas prices, it's the fuel for airlines that is really causing airfare to spike. The latest from Travel Site Going is that airfare for the Memorial Day weekend for domestic trips.
That Speed Vegas is like the cop car going around the track.
Is that is going to stick around for a while. They call it the ratchet of people are proving that they will pay those high prices. Just look at the TSA numbers. TSA screened 2.98 million
Speed Vegas, you can go drive supercars around the track.
5% off from the all-time air travel record today. Also a huge day.
So cool.
2.78 million people anticipated at airports. Here's the rest. The weather on the East Coast, not so good. Take a look at the departures board here at Reagan National Airport. The yellow denotes flights that are delayed. Oklahoma City, Omaha, Orlando, Raleigh, Durham, Seattle, Tulsa, all delayed right now. There was a ground stop here at Reagan National Airport, which ended about 1:45 Eastern Time. The good news is that is over, but the Federal Aviation Administration Command Center in Warrenton, Virginia, warning about delays, not only here in D.C., but also New York, some of the most delay-sensitive airspace in the country. Also in San Francisco, a huge hub for United Airlines, big international hub, and in Atlanta, the biggest hub for Delta Airlines. So we are not totally out of the woods yet. We're seeing some delays being put in place for Boston and Philadelphia. Those are just popping right now. So it won't be an easy go for the millions of people traveling by air today. It's really a tough one, and they're paying a lot more for it.
Thanks. The Ratchet Effect with Pete Montine live at DCA. Thanks so much for being with us, Pete. A new hour of CNN News Central starts after a quick break.
Set summer off with exclusive specials and mixes from your favorite SiriusXM channels. Jam out to backyard 90s hip-hop with SiriusXM Fly. Vibe to breezy grooves on Yacht Rock Radio. And sing along to summer pop countdowns from Hits 1. Find music for chilling, grilling, and more. Just search Memorial Day on the SiriusXM app.
It used to be the stuffy tissues of your nose was really the only way to stop your messy, frustrating nosebleeds. Nampons are the doctor-recommended better option that over 3 million people have already discovered. So what's a nampon? Nampons fit inside your nose perfectly, expand for gentle pressure, and even have a clotting agent clinically proven to stop the bleeding fast. And now nampons are available at Walmart. So ditch the tissue and be prepared for your next nosebleed. Pull into Walmart right now and get nampons in the first aid aisle.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means life.
Oh, you sound a little more awake.
She finally woke up.
How's my grandbabies? Still? Was they up late? Oh, you just fed them, got them full, and then put their ass back to bed. Mm-hmm. Are they all in your room, or are they in the living room? Oh, so she just completely takes over our room when we're not there. Does she realize that's not her room? But that's what, is she on my side of the bed? Oh. This little skinny motherfucker daddy's in the middle of the whole bed. All right.
She know we coming home.
Can you go ahead and throw on some clothes and come get your parents?
She know we coming home.
Who?
Maya.
No, I don't think so. She knows they're, I mean, they know we're coming home. They just don't know when. Right? I said they know we're coming home. They just don't know when. Or did you tell me we were coming home today? Oh, okay. All right. So if you go ahead and throw on some coats and come get us, meet us at Morton's. I'm hoping that we'll be able to find a spot though, even though it's Memorial Day weekend, because it looks like there was a whole bunch of trucks that were leaving. So I'm hoping we can find a spot. So you can meet us right there. Ooh, you know what? I hope that did Monet make it to the airport? Oh, okay. Yeah, she about to hit some hellacious weather. She'll be there probably by tomorrow, but it's gonna be some bad weather. All right. I love you. We'll see you shortly. All right, bye, baby. But she said the kids woke up kind of early. She said they woke up earlier, and then she fed them and took the ass right back to sleep. I said, they in your room? She says, Winter is in your room. She on my, I said, so she just takes over our rooms when I'm there. She said, basically. That's why I want to know if she's on my side or on your side. So I said, she on my side? She said, nope, she's kind of in the middle. Got the whole inside bed to herself. So I guess Monet, she drove. So she'd be there by tomorrow. She about to get some hellacious weather. That's even closer to American Music Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be out here.
I'm assuming so. I just saw a sign for it. Maybe it is going to be out here, but I saw her up there next to it. She hasn't done anything lately. There's our close to it. Still not too bad. So the tub's off is over here someplace?
See the sign?
No, I haven't seen that's where she picks her up. That's the mom's where you drop her off.
I dropped her off at the car.
Yeah, that's where Holly dropped her off when she picks her up. Said by Top Golf. She said she don't mind it. I'm going up the street.
I think nobody can think it's like that.
Man, here, I don't mind it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
They go to Trump Towers. Trump Tower. Trump. Algorithm.
You want to jump out real quick? trash can. About to say, where's the trash can? I gotta go pee.
Huh?
I was looking for the trash. I was like, is that okay? She's left home yet. Hello. Are you still at home?
Yeah.
Dude, I called you like 25 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
I know, I don't know if Keanu was home. Yeah, threw up on everything.
Okay. Alright, I'll see you shortly.
Alright.
Alright, love you.